DAZA. Today it's Saturday, September 3rd, 2022. Let's continue with the DAZA. Alright? Before I start, a couple of people they have asked me regarding the oil pump gear that need to be aligned. Obviously, in all of the engines, there is some movement, some space. On the DAZA, it's a little bit more critical. Why? Because it's long, the timing chain, and it has to align. I mean, as far away you're going, let us say, from the gear, it's so much difficult, so much critical, if you like, to be aligned the gear. Now, what's the principle here? Same thing what's working for all, what you're gonna do with any gear and chain, all right? If this gear, it goes sideways, like this or like this, you're gonna have extra wear, the timing chain, it's not gonna last, and you're gonna have a wear the gear itself. So you have to be careful. It's not only for the DAZA, the alignment of the gear to be perfect aligned, to be parallel, let us say, with this gear and this gear, I'm doing it with all the engines. It's not something new. If you don't want to have any problem, you're gonna do that. Even on the Mercedes, that has very tiny hole from where it passed the bolt, again, you can make some movement. It's good to get some reference and to align it properly to be exactly the same parallel with that. Now, from the factory, they have a tool that you are bolting the tool, let us say, and then it aligns by itself. It's not the only way to align two gears by having a tool, let us say, something steady and put it in place first. There is a tool, let us say, to make it face here, the oil pan with the engine block, so to be even, like what you see here. That's perfect even, that it does have a lip, it doesn't have nothing, it's face. You don't feel nothing, you don't feel any transition between the block and the oil pan. It's important because coming the timing cover here, and if you don't align this one, you're gonna have a leak. If you don't align this one, you're gonna destroy the chain and then the gear. First the chain, then you're gonna have a problem with the gear. Alright? It's not a science to align a gear, especially when you have so much space and you can put, let us say, a straight edge and you can find your way. Me, usually what I'm doing, where it's stepping the oil pump, where's the seal of the oil pump, I'm applying some Vaseline, and also where it goes where are the threads, from where it's passing the bolts, let's say, down the surface, to be able to move it and align it properly, obviously before you install the oil pan down. Then, what I'm gonna do today, simply installing the damper pulley seal, installing the timing cover here, putting the cylinder head, moving on. Yesterday, the owner, he was here, so I didn't make detailed video. How I continue? I think that I show you the piston connectors that I put inside. Already stretched the bolts. I install the oil pump. I align the gear, installing the oil pan down, and call it as you like, oil pan, upper and lower. All right, done. Tensioner, new bolts, classic. Guide here with the grease, the gear here, intermittent gear. This is transferring the movement, let us say, from the crankshaft to this gear and from this gear to the camshafts up and to the oil pump gear. And here there is a sensor, position sensor, that's reading where it's located this gear, and from this side it's running the high pressure pump. So nothing new. Alright, fine. Currently, the crankshaft is being locked in place where it's supposed to be. It's correct. Something more, something less? No, I showed you the exhaust manifold yesterday that he brought to the customer. I have the timing cover. I have to find also the new bolts that he brought me for the timing cover here front. Torque down to specs, classic. Apply brake cleaner on the surfaces before I close it, so to be nice and clean and dry, to don't have any oil. Here, from where it comes out, the sealant, I'm cleaning it to don't have any bulging, let us say, from the sealant at this point. Fine. Do I forget something? If I remember something else, I'm gonna start again the camera. That's it for now. Moving on. The new bolts of the damper pulley, I have it there. I have put the old bolts on the damper pulley just to be able to spin the crank. We are looking good. Yes, we are looking good. Fine, fine. That's 72.6. I'm waiting the bell housing. This is for the DAZA, these parts. And it's remaining also some parts here. Yep. And they're up, obviously. I have already changed the seal and the plastic piece here. On that, I have already prepared it. Yeah. Regarding the intake manifold, because somebody mentioned, don't go there now. Don't go there now because it's not the time. One second. You're clocking, let us say, like I said, you cannot play with this gear, alright? You cannot play with the crankshaft. But you can play with the oil pump gear. It has some movement, like I said. And the same thing, it's also on the Mercedes. Nothing new here. Fine, also on the Golf. So, if you have a shorter timing chain and with much more movement, let us say, you can get away with that. Even this one, it has movement. You see that it's not so much precise. You see this. That means you cannot screw it up that much. You have to be completely off. If you don't pay attention at all and you put it and it pulls, let us say, somehow, or it stuck from the other way, yeah, and then yes, you might have a problem. But you see that it's not very tight, the fit. You can see here almost a millimeter. Alright? So pay attention what you're doing to don't have any sound, to don't have any catastrophic failure of the chain or the oil pump gear or something. Then, with the same way, you see, even now it's not the time for that, for the cam adjusters, to show you the on the cover why it has these notches and why it's important to be clocked. Screw it, when it comes to time, not now. Let me continue. When it comes to time, and if I remember it, I'm gonna mention about the cam adjusters, and when it comes to time, if I remember it, I'm gonna mention about the intake manifold and why it's like this. And that if you want to make performance, if you want to upgrade it, let us say, or to make it better, you have to flow it to understand what's happening, to know what's going on. Okay, stop talking, start working. Today it's Saturday, I want to go home early. I don't want to stay here all night. Now, before I apply sealant, before I clean the surfaces, before I do anything else, what I'm doing, I'm getting the guide and the timing chain here. Be careful, the guide, you can put it later. There is a space to insert inside, but not the timing chain. As soon as you're gonna close the timing cover, you're not gonna have a chance to pass inside the timing chain. Alright? So, that's what I'm doing actually. I'm getting one bolt or one stud in this case. Make like this, I see that I have enough clearance. Alright? I already put this a new seal. I have already the tool here. To be properly, you can see that the lip is inside, classic, and I put it on the guides here and here. It's good thing to test it, this, to get used to it. So when you apply sealant, to don't touch, to don't make a mess, and to put it in place and to be everybody happy. Again, this is not only for the DAZA, this is for the most engines. If you remember on the MO57, I'm holding the timing chain, it's upside down the engine. If you make this engine upside down and you try to keep it with gravity, you're gonna come straight, and then the timing chain and the guide will gonna start touching on the timing cover. Like this, they don't touch. Fine. Now, I can take it out. Because I'm holding the stupid phone, I'm doing it now with one hand. It's not ideal. Okay, alright, fine. Let's put back the tool in place. Okay, nice. It's fine. Alright, in place now. Like I said, brake cleaner on the surfaces, since the timing chain is fine. And apply sealant, torquing down the new bolts. That's the story. That's it with the timing cover. It's been bolted on. It's flush here, beautiful. I already checked that before, I'm just saying. That's the amount of sealant, more than enough. The seam here, it's like a friction washer anyhow. There, the seal, excellent. Alright, need to put the crankshaft position sensor here. Not now. I have to remove the guide and bring the head gasket and cylinder head to close it. Here we go. head gasket in place, cylinder head ready. I haven't prepared yet the studs. I'm gonna place it, put in place, don't fail anything here. It doesn't have anything to fail in. I'm just saying, to close it. I don't want to be like that. Then regarding the timing chain, there is a room you can pass it through this. There is no problem. It can come out of the gear. It's not a big issue. All right, let's place it on. Okay, now studs in place. It's not been torqued down for final. All right. Then, like I said to the owner yesterday, the instructions are very clear. First of all, here I'm starting from 25 foot-pounds. 25, 50, 75, 100. To get the last, because at the beginning it's soft, and I would like to start from 25, and this is what I did. Now I have give already the 50. I already checked the height of the threads, of the studs, to be equal, all of them. It's perfect. It's been bolted full down, all right. Then it says here, then finally to 100 foot-pounds. That's the last step, all right? And that's how you're gonna torque it down. Classic, nothing new here. But loosen, relube, and retorque each stud back to 100 foot-pounds individually. Like I said yesterday, what does mean that one? That means after torquing down everything at 100 foot-pounds and you're done, then you're coming back again, all right? And you remove the nut, you apply only one. You apply assembly grease, the ARP assembly grease, okay? You're bolting it down again, and you're going again at 130 foot-pounds, at 100 foot-pounds, 130 newton meters, at 100 foot-pounds. When you finish with this, you have to do that on this. Then you have to do that on this. Then you have to do that on this. Then you have to do that on this, and again, and again, and again, and again. That's the instructions, and most probably since they're saying like that, I'm with that. I like this, actually. It's this you're doing it on the high performance engines with studs, especially when you have a thick gasket and it's not very thin. If it was only one layer, let us say, example, if it was only one layer of a head gasket, example, and it was very thin, you don't have to do that. This is just only to be able to make sure that all the studs are gonna be torqued down properly, because when you lose only one and then you torque it down again, all the rest, they're keeping down the cylinder head. It makes sense to me, this one. You're not gonna do that with the original bolts, but you're gonna do that with the studs. Second, before you give the 25 foot-pounds, it's 50 the first step, but my first step is 25 foot-pounds. Fine. You're going all the way around and you make sure that you have a good contact, cylinder head gasket, and block. So just in case, to don't have any headache, to don't by any means, by any mistake or something, it grabs something, all right? It was perfect clean, you didn't have anything, you just double check. You never know, all right? What else? Yeah, put the guides and timing chain. It's free on the air, it's not bites anywhere, it cannot bite anywhere here. Just double check it again. Anything else? No. The plug here for the oil gallery, after I'm gonna install the lifters, I'm gonna put the Allen plug back there because I want to make sure that everything is gonna be nice and clean and I'm not gonna have anything inside as it is right now. Yep. Moving on. Let's torque it down. If I'm breathing heavily when we're gonna start the video, it's gonna be because of the torquing down the head. Head studs torqued down. Done. 30 torques back in place. Alright. Now, new hydraulic lifters, the rollers or rocker arms, called as you like, need to be installed. Have their own lubrication inside. Okay. Let's put also this, and then following up, camshafts and the cover. At this point, I want to mention something. I want to say something. Alright, it's my ego, I'm coming crazy when I see this kind of shit. Alright, you have these rollers, hydraulic lifters, called as you like, alright, the followers. Okay, it is what it is. It comes, each one of these, in this nylon bag, alright? You see the nylon bag. Okay, same thing also for the hydraulic lifters. Same thing also this one. Fine. I'm gonna get to the point, alright? So you have all this plastic here. I have shown you in my videos before that I have received an O-ring, let us say like this O-ring, in this nylon bag. Fine? In a plastic bag. Correct? Correct. So, tell me something. Why, when I'm ordering a coffee, I have to drink my coffee through a paper straw? That's my question. Okay, now that we waste how much plastic, and we can drink, let us say, I don't know, maybe 500 coffees with all this plastic that I just throw. Hydraulic lifters on, lubrication here, front, okay? Please, don't misunderstand what I'm saying. I'm not against, okay, to use a paper straw. Use a paper straw, no problem. Paper bag, yes. Actually, my wife and I, we are using recycling bags. We're not using one use only, all right? It's fine with that. The thing is, why it's not working this one, that means this is only for, let us say, for the people individually, or let us say the big companies, it's outside. They are living in a different planet, example. I don't know, what can I say? Check how much nylon you live over there. So, yeah, never mind. I already put the bridge, I already locked the camshafts. At this point, if I want to spin the crankshaft, I can spin it, there is no problem, because we're not going to open any valve. I can hold the timing chain from this side, okay, and start spinning the crankshaft. It's fine. What's going to happen in this case, because I have installed already the spark plugs and I don't want to remove it again, because I crushed the washer that I have, it's going to pop out the fuel injectors probably, because it does have support, right? I'm not going to spin it, no need. Continue applying sealant on the cover, bolting it down. The bolts, I haven't get the bolts, I have to get the new bolts. Yay! Cover with the camshafts back in place, but it's already been secured before I install it, obviously, because you don't have a chance how you're gonna spin the camshafts, right? That's the amount of sealant, classic. Like always, it's more than enough, what you see, alright? Then, it's time for the camshaft adjusters, alright? Now, like I've said before, it's important to be clocked, the cam adjusters, alright? And to be within a range. Fine? So, why is that? Why it's so much important? Before I show you this, crankshafts been locked, alright? Camshafts been locked, and I install first, which one? The intake camshaft. Okay, why? Because the tension is from this side. So here I get all the lash. Alright, it's free, the cam adjuster. I didn't bolt it down, obviously. You don't have to bolt it down now, alright? But you get all the space, let's say, from this side, because you have a steady guide. It's not like the tension from this side. And you put in place and you make sure that this will gonna be within a range. Why it's important to be within a range? Because of these three small holes. If you go here to the cam adjuster, you see the same thing, three holes, three small holes. These need to be aligned. These need to align with the holes on the camshaft, on the specific orientation. So you're trying to find this has to come here, where is the range, alright? And if you see, this it goes exactly there. You need to be within a range, like I said. So, understood? Clear? Let's put also the exhaust cam adjuster and then torquing it down. And I need also the other adapter, I have it here, the torque wrench. Yay, I need the torque wrench. So, keep it there. That's the cover for later on, not now. Now, both cam adjusters in place, alright? It's not been torqued down yet. It's not the time now to be torqued down. Fine? Just making by hand. Before you saw me doing by hand, I have already deployed the tensioner. Fine? That means there is no playing on the timing chain at all, front and back. Still lock the camshaft, still lock the crankshaft down there. If you get this piece, this high speed steel, alright, that I machine it before, I just grind a little bit to see where it comes. You see that's within a range. Now, if I go one teeth back, let us say, it will gonna end up here. You're gonna be out of the range, if you like. This side, it's like this. I put a bet that if you see the first part of this engine, it's supposed to be the same. It's supposed to be the same like that. If, let us say, that's why I'm measuring it, I'm checking it before I open it. Because I want to see if it's been stretched the timing chain. Because if it's been stretched the timing chain and it's completely out of the range, yes, the cam adjuster will gonna work because you're gonna align, but the timing chain is not gonna be in the best shape. So when you are within a range, you're fine like this. You don't have any problem. What else? If it slide the cam adjuster, then you're not gonna give you the chance when you try to open it to put the bridge and to lock it in place. It might slide. It's not something. It's normal, let us say, because there is no pin to lock in place. There is no friction washer. It's relying only in this pattern what has inside. Okay, so I didn't make a mistake. We have intake here for intake, exhaust for exhaust. We are within a limit here where it's supposed to be. Now torque wrench, the holder, torquing down. Done torquing down the cam adjusters. I remove the bridge. Okay, I have removed also the locking pin from here. I remove also the fuel injectors to be able to spin the engine. Alright, now clockwise we have the mark here that I'm gonna show you after that. Actually, we are going to make one, alright, two, get the pin. I need these three tools actually to verify that's okay. Yeah, 1 second, I need both hands. Yeah, I need both hands. Okay, in place by hand, I didn't torque it down. Alright, bridge. I bolt down the bolts nicely, freely. Both of them, yes I can. This what you want to see, that you can tie it down properly, easily, freely, and within the range, yes. Within the range, yes. So we are good to go from the timing. Let's take care about the tools. I'm gonna keep it locked, the crankshaft. Why? Because when I'm gonna put the seal here, the front seal, I want to see that the mark it's aligning properly, because you can always play slightly couple of millimeters left and right on the damper pulley. I want to make it to be precise. Okay. And regarding the pin, when you find the position, you just making like this. It's not 5 Newton meters more than enough. No need something crazy. Just to be properly in place. You can see that it's not moving at all, the damper pulley. That means even if you try to make it up and down a little bit, it doesn't move at all, because this came in the position on the counterweight of the crankshaft. So yeah, you don't have complaint, right? I'm giving to you too many informations. Let's move on. Cover back in place, vacuum pump back in place, the reading wheel with the seam back in place here, high pressure pump with a follower inside here. From here where you're putting oil, the oil filler, neck, yeah, okay. Water pump back in place. Let's move on with the damper pulley seal front, and to torque it down. Same thing also for the dual mass flywheel. I'm gonna put also the actuators here for the variable lift, and I need the 2 solenoids here for the variable timing, and I need also the PCV here, cam position sensor, yep, stuff like that. From now on it goes fast. Actually, even from before it was going fast, because when you have done all your job and you're okay, you just have to follow, let us say, the torque specs, apply correct amount of sealant where you're supposed to apply it, and that's it. Straightforward. Moving on. Now, actuators, the plug, solenoids, cam position sensor, the position sensor here for the gear, the brackets, alright, been bolted down, the plug here, damper pulley seal, damper pulley bolts done, dual mass flywheel with the new bolts done, finish on the side. And I have to stop here now because I have to go outside. I put also the crank position sensor, alright, torque down. I have to stop now here, pause it a little bit, have to go outside. I don't know how many minutes it's this video. Maybe I'm gonna upload this one and then I'm gonna make another part. I believe it's much better, right? That's it for now. So don't be huge